loading snacks.
What's going on, everybody? Your anime admins are back for another episode of Spoiler Boys, discussing ReZero this week, episodes 11 and the OVA slash movie Memory Snow. If I'm saying that correctly, Noah. So let's not waste no time. Let's jump right into episode 11. This is wrapping up this kind of time loop that we've been in. This is the finale of it. We got to take a look back at Rem and Ram and what happened when they were kids with their horns, and we got to finish out Subaru being an absolute G, coming and saving the day with Ram at the end to get Ram out of the situation. It was dope. What can I say? What do you think about how this part of the story ended, Gabby?
First of all, I think that was a really good wrap up. I like that we got to see more of Rem and Ram's childhood. I didn't think we would actually get to see like parts of their village. So when it showed like their birth and then them as they're kind of older, it's like, oh, we're going to we're going to kill them, but all of a sudden Ram comes in with all of this power, and it's just like, oh no, let's leave them. We're good. And then seeing how that dynamic actually, Ram was the powerful one, so Rem felt like she had to live up to it. And then because of her, Ram lost her horn. I like that we actually got to see the entirety of that instead of just shown in a quick flashback, like I maybe assumed it might have been, because we only had the one episode left to go. So it was like either we're going to get it or it's a flashback. So I'm happy I got the full extent of it, because that really helped me understand more of the twins. Because I know right at the beginning when they showed up, I really didn't like them. And because I see them all the time, and honestly, they're overhyped characters to me when I go into the series. But now at the end of this little arc, I
You're
really
starting to feel the hype.
Yes, I am. I'm starting to feel the
hype. That's good. Would you agree with her, Noah?
Yeah, I would. I think that was good. What about episode 11? Yeah, that was good. Their backstory and stuff like that. I think, if I remember correctly, there's a little more backstory, but their characters start to break down a lot coming here, and it's good to get a little grounds of what happened to Ram when she lost her horn, and how like Rem now feels like she's kind of like almost like apologizing in her stead, with like saying she's inferior and like trying to, you know what I'm saying, because which has turned into like her believing that, you know what I'm saying, believing what probably isn't true of her being inferior to her and stuff like that. So
I agree. And like Subaru had to kind of like tell her like she's so trying to be a better person for her sister and take the place of what she lost and everything. And he's like, I only know this version of her. I don't know this version you keep talking about. This is the version we know of her. Like, relax. You don't have to take it on all by yourself. Like, you have us now, and
we don't need to know that version.
Yeah,
this version is the only one that matters.
Yeah, and we're seeing like her horn getting cut off, and how Rem just responded to it, and just especially seeing their personalities more now. Like, they always were copying each other and kind of stuff like that, and now you're starting to see more of their individual personalities show, which is great. Seeing them really develop and come out of those like stoic kind of shells that they had, which is honestly I think going to be a great development storyline wise going forward, with them opening up and being more open to things. But overall, I thought it was I agree, Gabby. Great ending to that part of the story, that little story arc, and super excited to see where they take it from here. Because we have, what's his name is back, the creepy clown guy with the glowing balls that you call him, Gabby. I can't remember his name.
Roswell.
Yeah, Roswell.
Yes, that guy.
His name. And he's dropping hints on maybe what his MO is, like something.
I don't trust him still.
Take over the kingdom, and there's some big thing happening with the kingdom coming up that he's anticipating, and seems like he's been preparing for. So I'm really looking forward to seeing where that goes with him and learning more about him. Now they're starting to just kind of tease us more with his angle and what he's out for. So I'm looking forward to that. And so after that, we switched over to the movie, which, yes, Noah, was a great place to fit this in, because at the end of the episode, he finally asks Amelia on a date, and she agrees. So
Well,
entire
he asked her for like the 8th time.
yeah, she finally agreed.
Yes.
Yeah, no, we're just gonna go hang out, have some food.
Finally survived long enough to make it.
Exactly.
It's just that now he just lived long enough to make it to the date.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So the movie is pretty much that him trying to find the best date possible for her. But as the days go on, it's getting colder and colder and colder and it like comically cold.
Mm-hmm.
And he seems to be the odd man out on what's going on. Which happens
Nobody
to
seems to
be
be tripping but him.
yeah,
Everybody
he's the
Oh,
only one that
like,
it doesn't make sense. They're like this is kind of par for the course.
yeah.
And it turns out that Puck uh gains so much mana that he has to release it at periods throughout the year, pretty much. And while everybody's in on it, he's not. And so by him doing that, it's just making the area around the castle and on the grounds like Arctic levels. Like, what were your thoughts on that, Noah?
oh, that was funny. I thought it was funny. There's a lot more to see about Puck. So the fact that their spirit is just like, uh they got a lot of energy going on, and we seen Puck change forms and stuff like that. We haven't really seen Puck against the wall, but we know we seen Puck fighting against Roswell, which is
That
supposedly
was
the strongest,
hilarious.
Cool.
fighter. And they
Yeah.
were playing around. Was he serious? Who knows? They fought for 2 days on some Akainu and Kizaru shit.
Yeah.
So you know what I mean? That we know Puck is really strong, and that was just funny. It was a good little over. It was good to have a little wholesome break to
It
see, and you
was.
could tell like in this series they want the a lot of these thrillers that we've watched this series, they have like they want the characters to be like solidified, like each individual character, which the
Mhm.
OVAs are doing well. There's also a lot of light novel material, which is why the episodes are so long, and they
Mhm.
have OVAs that are canon because they can want to
Mm-hmm.
get everything. And I feel like these OVAs are doing a good job of attaching you to all the other characters besides Subaru and Amelia.
Mhm.
So I think those are important. And it just shows going forward with this series, they really wanted it to be like a series where you're paying attention to more than just Subaru and
Yeah.
Amelia.
Yeah. I can agree. I can agree with that. What about you? Do you agree, Gabby?
I definitely agree. I really liked it, especially going back to what you said, Sin, about how this was a good place to kind of watch this OVA,
Mhm.
because what had just happened with Rem and Ram, and now their personality shine more. This OVA literally is like 100%. I said this while we were watching it, but oh my god, I love those two. They're
Yeah.
hilarious now. They're a total 180 from whatever they were at the beginning, and like Rem's freaking adorable. I can't get enough of her now, so I don't know where I am.
She is such a simp
Um,
now. It is hilarious.
she is such a simp. It's adorable. Oh my god. And I love the little fights. I loved learning more about Puck and all of his powers. I can't wait to see what else he has to do because he's an extremely powerful spirit. And just learning more about the other spirits and other spirit worlds. I'm sure we'll meet more in the future. I hope we do.
Oh,
Mhm.
it's gonna
Um,
fuck you up.
I
Let you
know.
know right now.
I'm
Gonna
excited
fuck
to see
you
what
up.
other spirits there are, and I thought like I said, it's really getting us to know every character, even the kids in the village. Like
Mhm.
I
Yeah,
know
yeah,
more
yeah.
about them now, and so it's like, oh, they're so precious. Like I hold them dear, just like I do like Subaru and Amelia, and the
Petra and
little
I
yeah.
remember the others.
Well, Petra seems to be the main one they're kind of focusing on, and then like the three
Yeah.
boys.
She has the crush on
Um,
Subaru.
Yeah.
yes,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and I love the little what was it like the snow sculpture contest they did at the end. Him
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
turning the bunny into a Gundam. It's
Yes.
That was funny.
hilarious. That was a
Yeah.
great scene.
Yeah, this was a well needed break after the heaviness that had been going on,
Yeah,
and a perfect place to explore their personalities, explore their relationships, how far they've come since this thing first just started. It was a great
Yeah.
relaxation kind of moment to let you just breathe, smile,
for sure.
laugh, learn more about them before we get into more of the wormhole and the despair that we're going to dive more into what this show is. I liked it. What were some of your favorite points from the movie? Noah, what about you? Some of your favorite points from it?
Um favorite points. Um just more character development of like Subaru and all that stuff because Subaru's character is seriously well written, and once we get through to season 2, you see he's like, especially for a character with no powers or not like nothing gung ho going for him.
Yeah.
He's like definitely one of the better written characters I've ever seen, especially from an isekai. So seeing his character unlock more is fun. There's a lot more to see about Amelia much later in season 2, but seeing more about her is fun because I love her. So that was probably my favorite parts about the movie.
Okay. What about you, Gabby?
Well, I really liked seeing all of the moments that like Ram and Subaru had, just because she is such a different character now. Going forward, I
Yes.
like this is what it's gonna be like. But I was just like, that's adorable, and that's adorable, and no, you can't blow. Like, why every time he sneezes, you blow his nose? And her and Ram made the statue, and they combined them. And I'm just like, what is going on here? So just every little like simp moment between those two was hilarious. I really enjoyed learning Puck's thing. Like, Puck is probably your favorite character of mine, so I really like that we actually got to delve into him. And yeah, those are probably two of my favorite points, along with learning about more about Amelia. But I want to know even more about her. I feel like this just scratched the surface of everything, and now it just makes me want to learn even more.
Yeah. I can agree with y'all on those. Those moments with all this character development, seeing those relationships flourish was great about the movie. Also, I would say one of the best moments was those moments with him and Beatrice, like trying to get her more to come out of her shell and get her to come outside, which she finally did, and sat down and tried to have fun with the snow sculpture and all that kind of stuff, like just relax for a moment. That was really good. Yeah, this movie was filled with a whole bunch of great, wholesome stuff like that was well needed to just reset your brain for what's coming next. And speaking of what that is, what do you think is coming next after this, Gabby?
I have no clue. I have no clue what direction this point is. I'm assuming, just because it's the only thing I know that could be happening, is that maybe we'll go back to Reinhardt and Felt and see what's happening over there, because we left it right before this arc. So my assumption is, okay, this finished up, so now we'll go there. But we could also just go in a completely new direction. I don't know where that could be. Maybe Amelia gets caught in something else. But I would like to go back to Reinhardt and Felt.
Yeah. We really didn't leave off on a cliffhanger, so there's not really much guesses of where we could go. And this story is so unpredictable that it's like, at this point, if I hadn't seen anything, I'd be like, fuck if I know.
Where you going? I don't know. Whatever the next episode brings me.
Yeah, this show definitely can leave you stumped like that. Only place I can think of where we're heading next is just because of the hints drop, is maybe somewhere towards the kingdom to start explaining what this battle for the kingdom or whatever type of thing that might be happening, like starting leading towards that direction. And with that, tie back into Reinhardt and Felt, what's going on with them. I don't know if that happens like the next episode or two, but I think we're heading to the capital, like to the castle, like in that destination to start answering those questions, considering we're at the halfway part of season 1, if I'm correct. Am I? I think we're there now. It was like 24 episodes or so. So yeah, we're at the halfway point. So I think we're going to start leading towards that direction. Now, what happens once we get there? No clue. No clue with the wildness that this show is. But regardless, I am 1,000% on this ride. I'm looking forward to the mystery, the reveals, the new characters we're going to get introduced to, the lore, like fully invested, looking forward to all of it, because there are so many questions that have been left on the table. So many stuff is sitting there, plot points just sitting there. They'll say something, just all right, walk away from it, just leave you kind of stumped. So hopefully we start to dig into more of that. But like I've said before, with a show like this, the more questions that we get answered, the more they're going to throw new ones at us. So I am over the moon excited for this week when we sit down and watch this on Thursday and find out where we go next with this, because it's such a unique, creative, beautiful story so far. It's just in a dark and twisted kind of way. But would you say y'all are as excited as I am to see where we're going next with this?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Can't wait.
Yeah. If you all have, if anybody out there has not seen ReZero, we can't recommend it enough, and we are halfway through season 1. So that should say something. And there's a season 2 and a third season going to drop in what, July? Noah?
October.
Oh,
they just actually dropped a new trailer for it today or yesterday.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be so lost if I watch that one.
Probably. So how about we close out when we get into season 2? We close it out with the trailer and just watch the new trailer, whatever it is at the time, just to get everybody hyped for it. But yeah, like we said, if you're not watching this, so far we're highly recommending it. And go watch it. Come back, join us here to discuss, talk about it. Leave your comments below. We want to know what your thought process is at this time going forward, because there are so many questions to be asked and answered. And this ride is amazing. So Thursdays in the Discord, you can find us at 9:30, watching the next episodes together, which will be episodes 12 through 14, I believe. And we'll be back here next week, this time, to talk about it with you all. So until then, we will catch you later.
Peace.
Loading snacks.